Hello students, good morning, good afternoon and good evening. This is teacher Shanice. We're going to go through year 3 and year 4 mathematics, all about fractions. Okay, so fractions, as we talked about earlier, the top is called numerator and the bottom is called denominator. Okay, one key thing to remember, denominator is more important. Okay, we'll find out why. Here are the words that we talked about as well: represent, simplify, fractional percentage, addition using different denominator, meaning that the bottom number is different when you add together, improper fractions, and last one, mixed numbers. Let's go through one by one again. Represent. Okay, so first thing, denominator. If we want to do represent, the denominator has to be the total number of objects. So remember we talked about 1 apple and 5 oranges. First we need to find out the total. What is our denominator? So total here is 6. So if the question asks to represent the number of apples, I only have 1 apple. So it's 1 out of 6. Next one, number of oranges. Here I have 5 oranges, so it should be 5 over 6. Okay? Next one, simplify and equivalent fractions. Remember, simplify is making the fractions at the smallest number, making it very simple. Equivalent means same. So for here is 2 examples, equivalent fractions. 1 over 2 equals to 2 over 4 equals to 4 over 8. Why? Because up here and down, I times 2. Always remember the rule, when you divide or multiply, you need to do for top numerator and bottom denominator. Okay, meaning that here I times 2, down here also I times 2. So I did the same thing for here, become 4 over 8. So the numerator and denominator I just times 2. Same here, I tried with times 3 and I got this answer. Okay? But this does not mean, oh teacher, 1 over 2, 1 over 2, so 4 over 8 equals to 9 over 18, is it? No, because I use a different times table. One is times 2, one is times 3. Okay? So that's equivalent fractions. Here is simplify fractions. So simplify, you gotta simplify this fraction. 4 over 8. What can I divide? Both of them. Can I always start with the smallest number, which is 2? Can I divide by 2? Yes. But I can divide with a bigger number as well. So it's easier for me to get the answer quickly. So the answer is 1 over 2. For here, 5 over 10. Try 1, try 2, try 3, try 4, try 5. So you get the biggest number where you can divide is 5. Total also 1 over 2. Again, since 1 over 2, 1 over 4, it does not mean that 4 over 8 equals to 5 over 10, because they use a different multiplication table. Okay, same thing. Next, fractional percentage. Fraction is what you see. Percentage is, remember I talked about the marks, 100%. Yeah, so it's always out of 100. So all your answers for fractional percentage should be numerator here over 100. How do I find the numerator? I got to count the number of shaded boxes. So one example is here. These are the shaded ones, and this whole box actually equals to 100. If you don't believe me, feel free to always count the boxes one by one. Okay, so here I counted already. The answer is 44. So shaded boxes, 44 out of 100 boxes. So 44 over 100. Fractional percentage. Moving on, addition using different denominator. Okay, so what about same denominator first? If it's the same denominator, you just add the 2 numerator on top. So one example is 1 over 4 plus 1 over 4. I look at these two first. If they are the same, I just copy. Ta-da! Then only I add the top. Okay, so the rule for here, if it's different denominator and you want to change the denominator. Question here, 1 over 2 plus 1 over 4. When I look at this, I got to decide which one do I change, okay? Usually you change the smaller one, become the bigger one, okay? So for here, what can I multiply to get 4? So you start again with the smallest number. So 2 times 2. So 2 times 2 become 4. Remember top also times 2. So the rule is both numerator and denominator have to multiply, divide the same number. So for here, I'm going to multiply to make it the same denominator as here. So 2 times 2 become 4. 1 times 2 become 2. So I did this. I got this. Then here I just copy the question. When I finally have two denominators where it's the same, then I can finally add the top only. So for this part, do not add the denominator because they are the same already. Okay, so total answer is 3/4. Okay, that is all for year 3. Oh, one more part. Improper fractions and mixed number. So improper fractions, okay, proper means the right amount. Improper means too much. So this is when numerator number is bigger than denominator. What does that mean? One example here, 5/2. For the denominator, 2 can only fit one 2. After that, it's already past a full. So imagine a cake and I slice the cake into half. Okay, because one cake I put two parts. Okay, if it's 5/2, meaning it's more than a cake already, it has another cake. So 5/2 is too much, but it's correct. It's called an improper fraction. Mixed number is to show you an easier way to see it. So actually 5/2 is the same thing as 2.5 because it's too much overload, so I take it out of the fraction, I become a full number. So this 2.5 basically means 2 cakes and half a cake. This also means 2 cakes and half a cake. Okay, so these are improper fractions. These are mixed numbers. Okay, you will only need to know until here. If you want to listen for year 4's one, year 4 mathematics, feel free. Okay, so for year 4, you need to convert improper to mixed number. Okay, remember improper is where the number is way bigger than the denominator, and the mixed number is one whole number and one fraction. Okay, when I convert improper to mixed, for example here, improper to mixed, usually I need to divide because it's too much. So you gotta ask yourself, 5 divided by 2 closest to it, that answer will give you 2 because 2 times 2 is 4, and once I minus that out, I have 1 left. So the answer that you divide becomes the whole number. Okay, whole numbers are one whole number, don't have fraction, don't have decimal. Okay, so this is the whole number, and then after I minus, what do I have left? Okay, so again, 2 times 2 equals to 4. 5 minus 4, you get 1. Next one, 18/4. Okay, everything you just divide by the denominator. So 18 divided by 4. What's the closest I can get? 4. So 4 times 4 becomes to 16. 4, 4, 16. I take 18 minus 16 to get the remainder 2. Right? Last one, 36/5 divide by 5. This divide is not in the question. I wrote it out to show you that I need to divide the denominator. Okay? So closest I can get is 7. 7 times 5 equals to 35. So 36 minus 35, I get 1. Okay? Other way around. Mixed number, 2 improper fractions. So since just now I divided, now I got to multiply. So what do I multiply with? Again, denominator. So for here, it's much more easier. You just take the whole number, the big number here, whole number, times by the denominator. I get the answer, add on to the numerator. So 2 times 2 equals to 4. Add back inside numerator, become 5. Yeah, next one. 4 times 4, 16. Add back to here, numerator, become 18. Last one, 7 times 5, 35. Add back to numerator, become 36. Alright? So usually mixed number to improper is much easier compared to improper to mixed number. Don't worry, we'll work on it. Last part, addition. When there's improper and mixed number. Okay, so what happens here? Same as year 3, you look at the denominator first. Don't care about the mixed number. Don't care about the improper. Just focus on the denominator because it's the most important thing. So here we see two different denominators. We need to change again. So gotta ask yourself, what is the closest I can make it to 4? So 2 times 2 become 4. So remember when I times down here, I gotta times the numerator as well. So times both sides. 2 times 2 is 4. 1 times 2 is 2. Okay? For this mixed number, because it is not in this fraction, this 2, you just bring it all the way here. You don't have to do anything. Just bring it over. Okay? When you change your fraction, only do the fraction, don't do the whole number. So once I times 2 and I times 2 here already, I get 2 over 4 plus 5 over 4. Okay, remember again, when you finally have two denominators that are the same, you just add the numerators only. You don't have to add bottom. So 2 plus 5 is 7. You copy back again for your whole number. So the total answer is 2, 7, and 4. Usually for addition questions, I want it to be a mixed number, not an improper fraction. This is still an improper fraction because this number is way too big than this one. So again, I can minus it out or I can times. 7 divided by 4, closest thing is 1. 1, 4, 4. 7 minus 4, 3. So that 1 that I gave the answer, I add into the whole number. Then it becomes 3. So far so good? If you still have questions, feel free to ask. I'll be available. Homework for year 3 and year 4. If you can go through the ASA Facebook, just search for year 3 ASA this file. Plus I need to make notes for this chapter because I will ask you next week. Year 4, this file name. Okay? That's all for today. Thank you and bye bye.